Okay, so we're about to embark on a retreat, and in the retreat we do many different activities. We purify negativities, we create merit, we meditate on emptiness, we generate bodhicitta, we contemplate refuge. There's a lot of different steps in the practices, whether you're doing the Vajrasattva practice or the 6-session Guru Yoga practice. But in both of those practices, purification and creation of merit play very fundamental roles, as do all the other things I listed. But purification is especially to free us of the imprints of harmful actions that we've done in this life and in previous lives. So we may all have things that we regret having done, and this is a good time to make peace with them and regret them and think about how else we could handle a similar situation if it arises in the future, and, you know, generate a good attitude towards whoever it was that we harmed, you know. So really making peace with the past so that we don't carry the past along with us like a 2-ton horse on our back. I don't think horses weigh 2 tons. 1 ton. Well, with 2 1-ton horses on our back. So, you know, so it's really, psychologically it's good, but also spiritually. And I was thinking this morning, a lot of times when we regret our negative actions, we don't regret, we fall into guilt instead. And, you know, I'm so bad for doing this, da-da-da-da-da. And I was thinking that we fall into guilt because we're only thinking about the action. When we regret the action, it's because we are also thinking about the result of the action. Okay? So if we think about the karmic result of an action and the unpleasant experience or lower rebirth or whatever that we will experience due to it, then we feel regret for having done the action. But we don't feel guilt, do we? We feel regret because we see the impact it's having on us. The guilt, I think, is when we just see the action and we stop. You know, we don't see the big picture. And so we sit there and blame ourselves, which doesn't do any purification at all. Okay? So, you know, don't fall into blaming yourselves, because then, you know, you're stopping the purification practice, yeah, and really getting stuck, yeah. But when we think about, oh, you know, my future rebirth, or what's going to happen when I'm human, or the kind of tendencies, personality tendencies or behavioral tendencies I'm going to have because of doing this action, or the kind of result I'm going to be born with, or the kind of environment I'm going to be reborn into, then we have regret. Okay? So it's important when you're doing the purification, you know, when you're studying the chapter on karma, to really study this section on the results of the negative actions, and to link those with the actions we've done so that we have proper regret. Okay? And then leave the guilt aside. That's really totally useless. Okay? So I think purification is quite important. This is, you know, when we talk about the 4 or 5 or 9 sets of nundro or preliminary practices, purification occurs in all of them, although some are more towards purification, others more towards creation of merit. And I think that engaging in these, especially early on in our practice, clears away a lot of obstacles. You know, sometimes it can clear away physical obstacles or disease or things like that that could interfere with our practice. and also mental obstacles or, just interferences that can come so that we, makes it difficult to practice. So that's why we do these intense purification retreats. And even in our daily practice, we do continual purification day by day. Okay. So it's a wonderful opportunity to really engage in purifying. Yeah? So it's kind of like a mental, spiritual, washing machine. Yeah. But you don't have to put it on, what's the cycle where it turns really fast? Spin. Yeah, don't put it on spin. Yeah, it can just be, you can put it on delicate, but delicate, if you do delicate long enough, everything's going to come out. Okay. But just remember that when, in the washing machine, when you wash the clothes, you see the dirt. Okay. If you wash the clothes and you didn't see any dirt come out, you wouldn't think the clothes were getting cleaner. So in the same way, when we start purifying and the dirt or the garbage in our mind becomes evident, it means that we're being successful, that the mind's getting cleansed. Okay? So don't go, my mind is so awful, because this is just part of the process. Okay? When you open the washing machine lid mid-cycle, you don't go, do you? You go, oh, good. Look, that dirt's coming out. So same way, when things come up in your mind, just say, oh, good. This is getting cleansed.